Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another full-time live from the MoeU University workshop. My name, as always, is Edi Tocek, and I welcome you to some foolish activities here in the workshop. For those who don't know, I'm still working on a backdrop for an upcoming figure photo, serial experience Lane, the character Lane standing on a small concrete hill, and in the backdrop we have some utility poles, some power poles, and yeah, I'm doing those, yeah, since I can only work on Friday for now, for hobby related things, this might be done in real time on stream. So there was almost no progress between last Friday and this Friday, at least I believe. At least not much. I mean, maybe I did a couple of smaller details on one of the power poles, but I still got like 3 of those pointy things left, like actual like drumsticks, or I don't know, like big hashi, like big. I can like chopsticks. It's like you can eat with them. It's almost as big as my cooking chopsticks, but you probably can eat with those. So those are the smaller ones, actually. This is the smallest power pole I made, and this is the large one, so you can barely fits into the frame. And right over there are the almost like finished products, at least in terms of details. So this is one of them. This does look more like a utility pole already, with those like things on top of it. I've noticed that I can still like use some nails as like stepping stones to climb the power pole, and there are still a few other details I can at least craft, maybe not overdo it, because I don't want to have this like too crowded, because there are a bunch of them grouped together, and I'm afraid that it looks too like busy and too crowded. But yeah, those are the at least finished modeled ones, and then I have to paint them and maybe weather them a bit, yeah, and then I can place them on the hill that is behind me. Let me show if I can go to my second place. Camera setting so that you can see it a bit better, and yeah, I painted the hill a bit lighter. This is what I did this week, and actually I had too less paint. You can still see this is the color that I did on Friday, and this is the lighter one on top, but you only will see it up to here. The rest is like just for show, so that I can place some power poles on to here, and we have a little bit of a forced perspective. So yeah, here are the holes for the figure, and I will photograph it from this direction here, right over here. So yeah, okay. So and maybe I will do some structures here on the side to represent some gardens, some wall structures, like it's in the series, or like you have it with those Japanese sloped hill streets. So yeah, okay. So there was a bit of a delay for today's stream because I'm busy. I'm happy that at least I'm here, so I'm happy about that. First of all, tea. It's tea time. You can refill my teacup at any time. Type in just ! tea time in one word, and then you can refill my teacup, so I stay hydrated. It's a green tea today. One of the Christmas teas. I always like to say Christmas tree, but it's Christmas tea. I want to get rid of this. But I had a coffee before stream, so that I'm not too tired. But forgive me if I'm a bit like exhausted because like it was a normal work day, and when I came home from the office, I drove my bike from and to work. And when I came home, I immediately switched my shoes, didn't even change my clothes, and then I moved into the garden and started with a little bit of garden work because we are renovating our garden right now, like the whole shebang. And so there is still, and most of it is done by like a professional work crew, but of course there is still some, you know, a little bit more detail work that we want to do ourselves. And so yeah, we have to work each day until like night falls in. Luckily for me, it gets dark at like 7:30 in the afternoon, so it's not like summer yet, because if it was like summer, I would be still up in the garden and working. So yeah, okay, so basically I just printed a few of those coils and other like cables, pulleys, so that I have a few of them so I can use them. I also want to do like one of those bigger units today, like this one or this one, for at least for the biggest pole. And yeah, for the smaller ones, I will also do normal extension stuff. I don't even know what this is called, what's those structures on a power pole are, but yeah. So let me just switch you to the work bank, and yeah, we are good to go. Hi there. Hello, welcome to the stream. How are you? On this hopefully wonderful Friday night. So there is something, is there something, I heard myself for a short period of time. Let me see. Yeah, I have my one of those one of those checking streams had sound, so I was like, huh, I hear my ghostly voice in the background, so it was interesting. Oh, Jumbo Chew's also in the chat. Hello. Full house again. Friday is a good day to stream, isn't it? It's like before the weekend. We can all stay up a bit longer and have some fun, or doing some hobby activities. Friday night. Normally it's like one of those party nights, Friday night and Saturday night. But yeah, our party is here in the workshop. And yeah, whoa. Ah, such a shame. I want to praise my knife, but because I found my favorite knife today, the red one. But yeah, this wasn't a good cut at all. So okay, for the big ones, this is like for the power unit. This must be fairly large. So I guess we can go the whole way. 11, maybe 12 centimeter. So yeah. As I had quite a busy week, gotta tell you. At the start of the week, I had a flat tire. I had to replace it and get it repaired. Today was my heat pump got at least delivered. So in addition to all the garden stuff, there is also a new heat pump waiting in the driveway. Waiting to get installed on Monday next week. So Monday will be like a pretty chaotic day. We will have the normal work crew here for the garden, and also at least like 2 people installing the heat pump. So yeah, and also I will work from home on Monday, and guess my parents will be here too, so full house. But yeah. But as soon as we get this done, the better, so we can go back to regular scheduled activities. I mean, as we already knew from this work crew, we worked with them for the last like 4 years now. They are quite speedy. So they had like a 4-day work week from Monday to Tuesday to Thursday, and basically yesterday we already started to build upon the new foundation. So it was like 3 days getting rid of old stuff, and now we are building upon this groundwork. So basically, from now on, each and every day you could still see a bit like it might look a bit nicer from now on each day. At least this is the plan. So yeah. Then of course, as mad as I am, I also volunteered for a Sunday shift at my other workplace, or my other workplace branch. So yeah, but it's not too bad. It's an early shift, so basically it starts at 6 o'clock in the morning. And when I say start at 6 o'clock, I don't mean like wake up at 6 o'clock or like drive to work at 6 o'clock. No, I mean like staying already at the place and start working at 6 o'clock until like noon, like 12 o'clock, so 6 hours. And sounds a bit sounds bad, but to be honest, if normally I would like sleep until 8, maybe 9 on Sunday, and then I will go for a walk. So basically I will not start anything productive on Sunday until like 12 o'clock, so it's okay. And yeah, I need the money. No, I don't, but yeah, there's like changing the tire was a bit of a blow, unexpected. And I really don't know, because normally the car tells me when there is like a pressure situation, but it doesn't tell you exactly what. It just says, okay, there's a drop of pressure in your tires. And basically it also does this each time you change the wheels. Or maybe it's like at the end of the season. So I wasn't thinking much about it at the first when it first popped up, and I think I could like drive like at least 2 days without anything going wrong. I don't recall when it popped up, but I think I was at least driving 2 or 3 days, and then also like taking the bike 1 or 2 days. So there was like a pretty significant span from actually having a flat tire, like you see it in the movies, like when the car is sitting on the ground, and the first time this warning popped up. But yeah, luckily it happened when I was at work, so we could change the tire quite easily with the forklift. We just lifted the whole car up, and then I could put on my spare. And yeah, then I drove it to the shop, the broken tire, and they replaced it within 48 hours. And yeah, it basically costed $100, but I was lucky because they only charged me for the tire. Because basically you have to buy a new tire, and then of course all the additional service fees. So putting it on the on the wheel itself, then adding those counter weights, and then of course getting rid of the old tire, because you know they have to charge for this, because if they don't do it and just hand you over the old tire, they know you will just throw it in the next best ditch. So they have to charge for this as well. And then of course maybe putting up the new wheel onto the car. And basically the whole story was they just forgot to charge for this. They issued already invoice, and they told me they cannot change the invoice anymore. So I basically got all those service things for free. So at least this was like still a lucky luck in an unlucky situation, I guess. And of course, I also, just today, I released my new figure review. So if you are watching this stream on YouTube right now, you can just search for the new video on the MoeU University channel. And if not, you can hop onto YouTube and watch it. But of course it's not live, so it will wait for you there until you have time. I think it's a nice review. I had fun filming and editing it. Like I always have with those new reviews. That's why I do them, to be honest. So long text. I hope the weather will be nice tomorrow, because I would like to spend some time working in my balcony garden. Like I mentioned during the last time, I worked on a new piece. Yeah, I saw this. I saw the pictures of the molded Gampler piece. Today I received some accessories that I will use, and they've already been looking at the base I'm going to use for the model. I saw that you posted a review of Hoshimai today. I have my playlist for tomorrow. Live on Friday is best option because of the you cut up there. Huh. Interesting. Too much text. Cut off. Yeah. It's a good thing, I guess. Live on Friday. Yeah. That's right. I can stay longer. But then again, for me, weekend is not really much relaxing time. At least right now. But yeah. But yeah, it's the time now to work in the garden, regardless if you are renovating the place or not. It's like the time where you start to plant some new things, or like dust off old furniture, like the garden furniture, and get the place tidied up. I mean, we would do this as well if we're not like just ripped everything out. So yeah. I guess the weather is pretty usable for this little project right now. First week we started with a bit of a unstable weather at Monday and Tuesday, but no big rain. So and we hope this continues for the next like 3 or 4 weeks at least. But then again, this is like a pretty selfish wish, because you can clearly see that nature would love to get some water right now, some rain. Around here, the last big like water it wasn't even rain, it was like the last big water supply was those like 15 to 20 centimeter of snow that melted away 2 days after falling, and this was like in the middle of February, so basically just 1 month of dry weather now, and of course pretty warm, at least during the day. So yeah, but right now everything is going according to plan. We already received those like stones for the Grenzstein, Begrenzungsstein, Rasenkante. It's like, you know, like those bigger stones that mark the edge between the lawn and some cobblestone ways. And we also got our rain, our like automatic rain thingy from Hunter. Sprinklers, I guess, they are called. Now that's the burden if you try to organize all the supplies by yourself. That everything comes at the right time, because otherwise the work crew would just stand around and not do anything. I have 2 of those Baspa2s, but they are not the same. It's like, this one is much nicer. This is a much nicer surface, so I like this more. I like this more. Just I need some smaller bars now, so I will use the nice material. Yeah, like I said, I uploaded the review. So now this is like the moment, this is like a very satisfying moment when you uploaded the review and also did the figure photo, and you know this figure is done. Everything is accomplished, and now she can rest in the showcase until further notice. And I guess this weekend I might already start with the footage for Lane. Because at least I can work at night. Because if it's dark outside, we can't work in the garden. That's the plus point. At least from a selfish point of view. And yeah. So if I can motivate myself to work late at night on some B-roll, there is plenty of backlog, and at least this is a more relaxed thing to do, a more relaxed activity, rather than staying here and crafting things. Basically, I just sit in my chair, in my office chair, and have the camera rolling, and this crane is moving up and down, and I'm just sitting there and like stop it every couple seconds, and yeah. I mean, with a standing figure, this is quite easily done, luckily. Filming Nandos though, or Figmas, not so much a fun activity because basically I have to change them after every shot to get some variety into the mix. So I have to pose them, and I'm not the biggest fan when it comes to posing figures. I'm not a genius in this regard like Oki. He's like so natural talented. He can just pose those small figures and they look really good. I mean, I just try to replicate the promotional pictures and maybe come up with 1 or 2 generic poses by myself. But yeah, figure posing is a skill, or is also important, or can be used into a strength if you are doing figure photos with like Nandroids or like ball jointed figures, and you are a good poser in a positive term. It can make quite a difference if you can pose those figures well. Same goes for model kits as well, like Gampler. Oki even showed me there is a cheat sheet how to pose your Gampler or your Gundam, your mobile suit, so that it looks right. That it looks like intimidating or like solid, because that's like the thing with those plastic models. They look nice, but if you touch them, it feels so cheap because the plastic is so thin, the figure weighs nothing, and it's so hard to get used to. Because if I work with like scale figures, like Marin was, it's like day and night. They have quite some substantial weight to it. But yeah. This looks right, I guess. I can use this. So I have to do another one, the second one of those. Yeah, that's really nice, I guess, if you do this, if you enjoy it. I really don't enjoy it. It's not a thing I really enjoy doing. Stresses me out a bit, but sometimes I have to. Guess this also explains why I'm usually not shooting them in terms of figure photos. Never done much Nandroid photos. I always joke like that I have to do at least one Nandroid photo. Where's the camera? Like, problem is that the frame extends beyond my shoulder in reality, but I had to use an old TV for this border, so yeah, style over substance, I guess. So yeah, I have to do at least one Nandroid photo each year, so that my figure photographer license don't get revoked. But yeah, other than that. But who knows, if I'm continuing doing plastic models, building them and yeah, just basically building them and painting them, I might sometimes have to also film them and review them and maybe do pictures with them. So Once again, I didn't take a picture, or like, I guess I took a picture, but nothing substantial to be part of a review from Emma. So with the architect, I already missed shooting her in an unpainted state, and I did the same thing with Emma. So because normally it would be nice to see the unpainted figure in a review, and then maybe show the painted result. So, but I didn't do this. Well, because that would mean that I had to set up the camera and shoot the unpainted figure and invest some time into it, and then take it apart. But usually I wanted to rush it, and so I just started painting again without taking any pictures. But I know this is a problem of mine, also with like behind the screen like footage, or like making of footage, pictures of those projects. So, see, this is the good thing that I'm streaming this now. Because usually I always forget to take pictures of like stuff in the making, yeah. Okay, so at least I have now 2 of those thingies, and I can just glue them onto those. I guess here would be, no, let's do it here. Let's try to get this into a like 90 degrees angle. Kinda, sorta. Oh, shit. The first one went in so well, and this one is a bit bigger, so it doesn't quite work as well, but I guess it's okay now. I mean, the good thing is it can look a bit shabby, doesn't matter. Okay, and then there is a long bar on top. You can take this here, you can still see it. So we're making this long bar on top now, and then we have to make the big unit, I guess this is like a truffle of some sort. So how we're doing this? Can I use this? Yeah, I can use this, and then I have to cut some new bits. And how long should this be? I guess at least 5 centimeter. Yeah, maybe 6. Make it 6. Maybe I can come up with some like illustrations for the street lamps, because on the first utility pole I also included a little street lamp at the bottom, and I cut this by hand, but it was like pretty rough. I mean, I can do this once, but basically if I do this every time from hand, every one of them would look different. So I might come up with a proper shape and I will just laser the shape, because it's like I want to make it from a thick cardboard, and you can't really cut a clean corner. Like basically the shape should look like a spoon. So yeah, not ideal. And since I have the tools, why not use them? I mean, I guess because it's work to create the Illustrator file. Don't know if I already told you this, but we also ruined our first tool. There is like this saw, this electric saw behind me, with a long blade, and we wanted to cut the big root in the garden, and we just murdered it straight away. Got really hot, started to smoke, and now the motor is gone. And since we only use like those cheap tools from the like grocery stores, it's not exactly a big loss, but yeah. The problem is you can't replace them that easily. You have to wait until they have those non-food items. I mean, they change every few weeks, and this specific item might only pop up once or 2 times a week, a year, for 1 week. So it's like it's kind of a shop system from a video game, where every time you visit the shop, it has other items in it. And this is like the one thing living in Austria. Lidl doesn't extend their online business to Austria, even though we have the brick and mortar shops, quite many of them. They don't offer online shipping, which is a bit of a shame, because if you look at the German prices also, they are much cheaper in many regards. So yeah. I really hope those trees will forgive us that we cut so many roots now. But it's a bit of a problem if you have like quite some older trees standing around, at least at the edge of the garden. Then you also have big roots, and every time you dig into the ground, you have to cut them. So hopefully they will thrive regardless. And also at some point you might wondering, because there are like those big pine trees at the edge of the garden, and they are really tall. They are like two times the whole building. They are standing there like apparently since like World War II. So because apparently they were planted as a distraction for airplane, for like fighter airplanes or bombers, when they fly over and they will just see the trees. Don't know exactly how this works, because they had to be like quite small back then, but regardless, this is what I've been told. Maybe it's just an urban legend, but regardless, they are quite big, and you wonder if you cut enough roots, if they become unstable. So, you know, if it rains quite a lot, and if there is some storm, hopefully they will at least be static and stand. So yeah. But of course, like cutting down trees, big trees is not the most fun activity. So yeah. Okay, so we can now place it like this, and this is this part here. And now for the platform where we put our trafo on. I mean, I've already built this once, but now I have the right roll, because last time I used this one, but this is the good one. Look, it's like the proper size. I found this, so I can use the proper one now. This is almost like, it's just, oh, that's like almost the same. It's like I can drop this. I have like a sword. I can do this. Look, I can do this. It's like a sleeve for the sword. I can do this. Can the camera show? I can like draw my sword. Ha! It's like samurai. It's like this meme where there's something written on the sword. That's fun. Okay, enough foolery. I'm quite shocked how nice this is glued together. Like this couple of drops of super glue works wonder with the PLA plastic. So interesting. I need to cut this, I guess, right here. Make it a bit taller than the actual structure, but I guess I have to use the saw for this. Or not. Guess I cannot use this. That's a better cut than doing it by hand. Cutting round thing is always a pain, so luckily we have the bandsaw. I saw. And now I can just make the platform. Make the platform a little bit. Now we can use the thicker cardboard for the platform. Where is the thicker cardboard? Here is the thicker cardboard. And if I do this correct, I can make it a bit narrower. This reminds me that I don't have a pencil here right now. Such a shame, such a shame. I guess I will need some eventually. So, okay, yeah, because this is like, it's overlapping a bit. So here is the platform, and then this round thing stands a bit over the platform. And for the length, I guess this might work. And I might also print some of those like stripes, like warning stripes, and put them on the bottom of the pole, like those that you don't run against the pole. You know, those like yellow and black stripes. Sometimes you see them on utility poles in, I guess, in Japan. Or putting up some posters, like some wanted or missing posters, like stray cats and whatnot. You might see those as well. Okay, and now I can just make a bit of a skirt platform and put it up there. So hard to cut this straight down. That's a bit better, I guess. So gives it a bit of a nicer edge. I'm still unsure if I should paint the whole pole silver like I did with the first one, because I can't leave it this shiny and silver. Looks a bit ridiculous. Looks like one of those like chrome, like how was it called, the Chrome Boys from Mad Max. It's too silver, too shiny and too silver. Should be more gray than silver. But I guess as a base, it's not that bad, because it's not just a silver paint, it's also a structure paste. So it adds a little bit of structure. Not much. But a bit. I mean, this is like structure paste for what is called acrylic painting on a paint board. So yeah. Okay. But then again, I noticed with the street thing that apparently I'm running out of white acrylic paint, so I have to restock white acrylic paint. And now I'm in the dilemma that the one that I used until now is from a store in Vienna. It's an artist store that I was a customer of when I lived in Vienna, because it's one of a really big artist store. They have everything you need, like for traditional arts and crafts. Regardless if you are a painter, if you are someone who works with like stones or with like gold foil and like book binding and like scrapbooking, writing, I don't know, like picture frames. Their picture frame department is like a separate thing that you can like frame your pictures in a museum quality stuff, like really high class picture frames and glasses, and you can print your own pictures there on just canvas, and you know, a really good store. And it was also in my neighborhood. Bad. Some people would say it was the one nice thing in the neighborhood. I mean, they are not. It's not a cheap store. It's basically one of those stores where you have everything. You can shop everything locally, but each time you go there, you'll think to yourself, "Ah, that's nice, but I can buy this cheaper online, like the exact same thing." And so it's sometimes it's more as an inspiration of what you can actually buy, and what materials are available. But also then again, some things are better shopped locally, like my balsa wood or my cardboard. Like those are like really big sheets of cardboard, and you can't just shop them online and have them delivered to your door. That would be ridiculous. And so yeah. But now I'm not as close anymore, and I would like have to drive there, not even on my workway or something, so on my commute. And so shopping there becomes even more bothersome. And so I'm just thinking that I can just buy some cheap acrylic paint at my local like arts and crafts store, like those brand stores you have everywhere, because basically it doesn't matter. I don't need like high-grade acrylic paint for my hobby stuff here, because ultimately at some point it will get thrown away, so it's not wise to use like high-end painting material. And for model building, you can't use those things anyway, as I recently learned. Because with Emma, I noticed that I'm missing a green shade, and so I've mixed acrylic paint into those model building paints, and yeah, no. I mean, I use it, but even if it's just a few drops, no. It's totally a different thing. First of all, they should be like glossy, and once you add a couple drops of this acrylic paint, it becomes like instantly matte. So yeah. Okay, so now we can place this here, and then we make like an edge, so that it has a nice edge to it, like so. So now the thing becomes, so that this must dry. I guess I have to use a clamp, because otherwise this will not work. Where are those? Yeah. And I guess the same thing, I can do the same thing on the bottom, but if we go like strict as with the picture, there is none of it. So I guess down there I can simply make a circle, cut it out and hope for the best. Because cutting circles, not so fun to do. Let's see. I mean, I can't even like draw a circle, so How could one cut it when drawing is complicated already? Okay, so this looks like a circle. So how to cut it? Yay! Ah, so I should refill my tea. I mean, there are other commands as well. So if you type in like exclamation mark commands, it should bring you a link to a list with all the commands you can use in the stream. Some of them are just generic, but there are a few like custom ones I made, and it should pull up funny things. Okay, so there is a bottom part now, but I guess I really want to have this inside the hole. So I guess I can just mark this on the inside. And cut it again. And I guess I will just use a scissor, much easier. Okay. Let's see if this is accurate. It's even too small, I guess. Falls right through. Okay, so back to the drawing board. Make it a bit larger next time. Maybe I'll just use this as an outer line. Watch it from the other side. No, no, this doesn't work. This might be a bit bigger now. Yeah, somewhat accurate. Let's find the best angle. The rest must go with glue and paint. And then we can already place it on top of the... Is it like... yeah, in the middle. You can place it in the middle. Okay. And then of course we need a lid. A lid. Let's draw another circle. It's a circle of life. It's a circle of life. Isn't it crazy that it's almost already Easter? I finally got my vacation confirmed. My work vacation. But honestly, I don't know how far we are already done with the garden when I will have my 2 weeks vacation. I mean, I guess there will still be work to do, but I guess the biggest amount will be already done at this point. I still don't know where to shoot this photo, to be honest. I've already started to look around in the neighborhood for backdrops I can use with those larger utility poles in the background, like those really big ones that carry the electricity from city to city. I might as well have to like do location spotting, and one thing you can do for location spotting that I have used often is use like Google Street View to come up with locations for your figure photos. Because if you can't go there in person for location spotting, just use Street View. Okay. And now we need some fins, because this has like some fins, I guess, for like heat distribution. Can also use the figure cardboard, but that's a bit too thick, so I don't know. Maybe this one looks right. So it's always good to have some different cardboards, different sizes and shapes. I guess I can just use a few millimeter. Yeah, I need many of them. I know from when I built this the first time, you need a couple of them to make this effect of heat sink fins. So what I can tell for sure is that this month there will be no like partner stream, friends with Plumofits with Oki, because right now I really can't justify spending a whole afternoon building plastic model kits. I might do a my month in figure video and upload it to YouTube, even though I haven't done much in terms of hobby, or at least not things I can show as a result. I wish I could like do one figure photo each month, but I mean I could. Nothing can like forbids me to do figure photo. But since I don't want to shoot random things, I just have to build a set first, so yeah. Maybe now when the weather gets a bit nicer and nature is coming back and everything, I might do some doll photos in April. But I guess for this month, I'm only doing this for looking at figures to buy so that I can order them and see what came out. And I really didn't notice that all those figures I look at are already released. So each time I order one, they come straight to me. So yeah, it's a bit subtly. No, normally I'm just used to pre-order stuff and have Future 80s, it's Future 80s problem how to pay for it. But now when I'm ordering stuff that is already out, of course I have to pay immediately. And yeah. But who knows? Maybe, I mean that's like, would be a bad thing, but I've read online that AmiAmi already stopped providing basic mail carriage from Japan to certain European countries and certain African countries, but I don't know, don't care so much about them. But and basically it's just, you know, because of geopolitical events they stopped providing mail carriage. So basically I guess land carriage, I mean sea shipping is out of the question anyway. So basically some people reported they can only use like courier, like DHL or FedEx, and that's ridiculous expensive, of course. And the list of countries that the service was cut or suspended is like this hodgepodge of European Union countries, like without rhyme or reason. Some of them are just like, it's not like more eastern countries, it's just like Scotland or like Czech or I don't know, Romania or whatnot. So it's like really, it doesn't make any sense. Austria is not listed. Yeah, but if things escalate any further, they might stop shipping completely. So maybe we are not only in a bleach renaissance and in a lane renaissance, we are also in a shop your anime figures locally renaissance. Oh well. I mean, to be honest, I really gotta say, because I've noticed this a bunch, like there was COVID, then there was like the whole Ukraine war, and then was other geopolitical events in the last 5 to 6 years. And and each time they tend to suspend shipping. I gotta say, Japan Post Service, a bit of a pussy. I mean, really, it's like, come on. I mean, one of the more crazier things I shipped during the last couple years was a Lego set to Ukraine in the middle of like the ongoing war. I was able to ship a Minecraft set to Ukraine because somebody bought it from me. So yeah, and now we have like tensions in the Middle East, and suddenly Japan Post says, no, we don't ship anymore. No. It's like, what? Well, it's not like it's much cheaper anyway nowadays, to be honest. It's just the luxury of having the figure first before anybody can buy it in Germany or like in Europe. You basically already have it for like 2 months, but not much of a flex, I guess. I was the first one that could spend money on a thing. Yay. But if I continue doing this month in figure thing, where I just basically buy or order this top figure of the month, I might have to drop all other pre-orders, because I really don't want to buy so many figures. It's not solely the money. It's just like I've created this huge backlog, and at some point it might becomes overwhelming. Just a mental load that I have so many figures sitting around in boxes. Luckily, by accident, I've created the perfect showcase to display figures in boxes. Because I did all those spaces, I calculated them, and it's a bespoke showcase, and I used like measurements from common figure boxes, and so most of those spots are exactly the size of a figure box. It's uncanny how good they fit into those spaces. It's like Tetris, or like, I don't know, one of those videos where they shove things across the table, and at the end they sink down. I guess those are AI generated, but still. I don't know. That's my figure showcase. Good for displaying figures in box. Maybe it was wise to do this in the first place. Wow. But now it's almost 1 year when I started my new collection, and it starts to look a bit nicer in the figure case, in the showcase. Most of the empty spots are already, at least on the upper half, are already filled, so it doesn't look as sad anymore, all those empty spaces. And the ones at the bottom part are obstructed by the couch anyway, so those are for like, it's always the same thing, even with a Detolf cabinet, like the famous IKEA Detolf cabinet. You have like, what was it, Detolf? I guess three shelves, and the bottom part where you basically just have the wood floor, and then it's basically 4 shelves, but the one is like 3 of them are glass shelves, and one is the wood shelf on the floor. And it was always like, you put the stuff you don't want the most, or like your least favorite figures you put on the bottom shelf. It was the. It's like I guess you could say it's one of the first floor at the cinema, or like the last floor at the concert. It's the cheap place, the cheap rank for your figure. The ones you. I mean, I love all my figures, but you know, some of them I love more. And it's the same with the bottom spaces that are obstructed by the couch, pretty much. It will be filled with some less desirable figures. With my crudely painted model kits. God. Or maybe I will just switch up the layout from time to time. Each time I dust my figures, I will just change the layout a bit. Is it like weird when I say that I almost never dust my figures? I guess like back in Vienna, maybe I did it once or twice in like 10 years. Most of the time I just clean the base plate, but because of the base plate you see the dust accumulating. But then again, in Vienna they were like stored in closed cabins, so there wasn't much dust. And now here it's open, everything is open, but then again I keep the house super clean, so again not much dust is accumulating on those figures. But then again, if I had to clean them, I would just use compressed air, because now I have the compressor on hand, on standby, and I would just like collect them all and use compressed air. I would not advise to use a brush or some tissue, because I don't know, those figures are getting more fragile each year and each time, with some pointy edges, so it might be not the most advisable thing to use a brush of any kind. I also don't want to dismount them or disassemble them. I also don't know why some cities are more dusty. Yeah, I guess so. I mean, I guess it also depends where you live in the city specific. If you live like next to a busy street, of course you have much more dust. And also depends on the season. Because I notice it now, each time I come home from work, I basically just wipe down my bicycle. It just takes me like 5 minutes to do it. And since I do this outside, I already have my bucket of water. And I just like swipe over each window bank on the outside. And normally there isn't much dust on a daily basis, but now in the spring you can each day you swipe it and there is like this thick yellow line of dust from the pollen, from the flowers. So I mean, usually I keep my windows closed at any time. Don't have them like open, because in the winter it would be not advisable because of the heating, and in the summer it's also not advisable because of the heat. So there isn't much much time of the year where you can actually open the windows and leave them open for an extended period of time. So yeah. Ah! Shit. My fins broke. An air purifier helps reduce. Yeah, I mean, I last year I supplied Oki with one. I never tried it myself. I was thinking about it, honestly, to use one upstairs. Mainly because I would be able to get them for cheap, because it's another client that we supply with our services. But yeah, I don't know. Upstairs it would be nice because of the because of all the fabric, you know. Because my last video I did on the private channel was about cleaning the house, and I guess people underestimate how much dust is set off only because of clothes. Like getting dressed, getting undressed, doing the laundry, like hung up the clothes, ironing the clothes is like so much dust. Luckily nobody does it anymore. But ironing clothes, if you like have like 10 shirts, 10 dress shirts, and you iron them, and then you take your vacuum cleaner or your mop and you swipe where you just a couple square feet where you ironed, there will be so much dust. And of course the room where you sleep in with your bed, the bed sheets, yeah, so much dust. So basically, if you really want to reduce dust in your home, I mean, this is not doable for most people and might not be to their likings. But if you can live undressed, like just running around in your underwear all the time at home, dust-wise, it would help to mitigate. Or at least wear as little clothes as possible. Because if you're like sitting around with a thick hoodie and more layers of clothes, not so good. We first bought a small one as a trial, and after 6 months we got a bigger second one because we saw the result. Yeah. I mean, of course, you have to change the filters as well because it's a disposable thing. Yeah. You also see how much dust is in the air. Normally you don't see dust. It's like you can't see it as so good with the naked eye. But especially in the winter month, you can see it so well if the sun is like coming horizontal through your window, and you see all those dust particles. Because in a well-lit room, you don't see dust swirling around, at least normally. But yeah, then again, this is the thing we have to endure. So I guess this thing is like complete, because on this side there are no fins. So there is this small like box. I can try to create a little box. Maybe just use some of those parts. It's like basically throwing together some bullshit. Make a box. The problem is, I might have to. If I wing it like this, it might be hard to set up directly on the model. So. This might get too small for my hands. This is too small for my hands. Where is it? Where is it? There it is. Gotta dip into my model making stuff. Okay. Better. And the same thing down there. Make a little box on the side. Just use the wrong. To be even smaller. Everything is sticky. No. No! Yay, I guess. Nope, we are not there, not there. Yeah, no. Okay, I guess we are there now. And then we need a cover. Then we need a cover. Can I use this as a cover? Yes, 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 yes. I'm always kind of proud of my ability to estimate things. Comes in handy so often. I'm not really good with numbers, but I can very accurate estimate things. Okay, so now there's a little box on the side. If I let this dry, then yeah, okay. So I guess we can just put this together already. So this goes like this. This goes like this. Once again, I have to... Do I have to? No. Just... Yeah, I guess 1.5 centimeter, a bit more. So I really need to know where to put those. Okay. Like so. Okay, I hope this is enough glue. I guess not. Because it's now has this groove underneath, so might not stick as well. More glue, more glue. Okay. One time. So now it should be okay. And then there is this part here. Oops. And now I let this dry, and until this dries I might try to get some nails into my already finished utility poles, but first I gotta find some small nails. Those are all screws, so not the thing I want to use. Screws. I guess I don't have like really small nails, because why would you need small nails? Doesn't make any sense. Maybe something is in here, but then again, doesn't look like it. I guess those are the smallest nails I have. Quite big. Those are like hooks. Interesting. Yeah. Not really a nail guy, but this is like an old set. I guess I have to use those one. Yeah, it looks a bit technical. So if I use those nails, I mean, they're still so big. Don't like it. Stick it out a bit. I mean, I could always like cut them, I guess. Doesn't really matter that much. So let's use the already painted one. And use the drill. Why is this switched on? To use the right. Yeah, this looks doable. Once again, I have to use the flexible part. Okay. And the problem is that this is too big and I have to... It's such a pain to use the flexible cable. Because you basically, every time you use it, you have to change the bit inside to one where the tool you want to use fits. It has to be pretty precise. I guess this one, I hope so. Don't have another one. Oh no, I can use this one. This one works just fine. Okay. Now, like a dentist. Good thing is that 3D printed plastic is like just 1 millimeter of plastic and then it's like empty inside, so maybe not so much glue. Okay, so now there is a nail sticking in here and it might suggest something you can climb up there. Basically, this is just on random sides here. Doesn't make much without any rhyme or reason. Oh. I've already went through. Okay. I mean, maybe this isn't a bad thing after all. Because normally if you would climb this, you would approach it from both sides and just go like this. So maybe having it from both sides isn't that bad. But since this gets narrower on the top, of course, material gets a bit sparse there. But yeah. I assume this is for climbing. Maybe it isn't. Maybe it's just some random nails are sticking in there. There I just can stick it through the whole mast. And if I cut the pointy part on the other side, it might look decent enough. Okay. Yeah. So where is my wire? Is it a wire plier? Good day. Okay. Yeah, so maybe a couple more on the other side. Because you can't know for sure in which direction this would actually face on the final picture. And here you can see the lamp I've created. So this is like this one crude thing I made. And for the other ones I want to have it like a bit more cohesive. Okay, so I have two more that I can attach nails to. Let's see. Brrr. Oh. Oh. I gotta glue this a bit more, I see. But doesn't concern me now. Okay. Why is this not like attached? That's the problem with those cardboard biddies. They appear as one solid piece, but in reality they are just like different layers of paper glued together. And the first layer is always like this smooth layer, and you know everything is falling apart. You see? You see? You see? Brilliant. yeah. Oh well. But if we remove this first layer, then you have a solid surface. Problem is that it's not as smooth anymore then, but I guess it doesn't matter if we paint it, so. Well. Got a heat this gluing gun anyway because I have to attach the large model. Next thing to do. This one. It's not the most solid thing, but yeah. As long as I can reattach it, it's not as bad. So now we got a few nails in there. Okay, is my glue gun ready? Yes. Okay. So where was this? Was it up here? Yeah, it was up here. This was up here. This one goes into here. Oh, I guess this holds a bit better now. Okay, I guess this was all the parts that fell off. No, there was this small coil up here. Can reattach this as well. Okay, now I guess everything is back again. So we'll just place it over here. Place the second one over here. Okay. And then the last one. start at the bottom part. Going all the way up there. I also have to cut out more of those like small ribbons I did for all of them. Maybe I can do this over the weekend. Because it's like, it takes quite some time and it's a bit noisy, so not really ideal for the stream. But yeah, I used like those cardboard things and also some cable binders to achieve a more technical look. And now with those nails sticking in there, it looks even more like a real utility pole, I guess. Where is the hole? Okay, now it goes through. Okay, this is the next one. Guess at some point I should really start to shop around for the cables, for the black cables that run between those utility poles. And I think with those attached, they might start to come together quite decent. So and now I could. Okay, so this is too wide. God damn it. Yeah, that's far too wide. Also, it doesn't stick together. So let me try this with hot glue to get a more decent result. Glue this immediately. It's the thing when you can't really measure. Okay. second try. Yeah, much better now. Just set this up here. It's one of the more complicated attachments to those poles. Might fill this in a bit just to secure it. Okay, but yeah, where you can see this. Okay, here. Is there a counter thing back there? No. But I guess I will just add one just to be sure. I guess I have still one left from another one, so I can just use this here as a counterweight. Might have to cut this, but other than this, I can use it. Yeah. And for the good measure, I can also add one. Is it like wise to the cord sitting there? It's a bit too big for a cord. I will leave it as it is. Okay. Does it still stand? Ah, kinda. Until it falls. Because I knocked the desk. Okay, so once again, I have to continue making random bars, but I guess I wanted to make this bigger one here up top. This is like a barrel shape. It's like this. No, it's like this shape. I might do this with the, I might construct this. Can't do this free-handed, but if I construct this, it might look okay. Let's see. Maybe I will use this cardboard here. And then I have something like a smaller circle, yeah. Yes. So if I want to construct this, how should I achieve? Like one here and one here, and then I need like 5 centimeter in, no, well, maybe only 4. Make it a bit narrow. Mark the middle. Extend the point. Then I can just use this and draw a circle. Thing is, this doesn't really mark anything, but I guess you get the idea. And now I still have to cut it by hand. I mean, those are the easier ones. And now the round bits. It's like an eye, it's like eye-shaped. But it's 3mm cardboard, so it's not the easiest thing to cut. Yeah. Okay. I guess that's one thing. It's not the exact same. I wanted to have this more, a bit of a rounder shape, so time to adjust. I'm getting there. Okay. And now I need this a second time. So we have like 2 walls, and then we can wrap around a piece of cardboard. Add some walls and some like outlets. I guess those are outlets, like big outlets. And yeah, then we have another piece that sits high up top the utility pole, and honestly, chances are high that you will never see it in the final picture. I don't know. That's always the thing with those figure pictures, that if you don't have a place where you can set it up and leave it and just work around it, you might end up doing lots and lots of details that you will never see in the final picture because it got obstructed by something. Okay. Now the lower part. At least I got 2 almost identical pieces. And now I need some cardboard that is wrappable. This one. It's like wobbly, so I can wrap this around. And hopefully I can do this in one piece. One piece. Just make it 2 centimeters so that it's not too. Or is this more like a 4 centimeter piece? Let's make it 3. Golden middle. Okay. So now we'll just start to wrap this around. So we can just have a container. To do this, I might add some folds here. With a blunt object, I can just make a forced fold. Okay. I mean, I would need another right here. and we cut it right there. Perfect. So I need a second one. Or do I need a second one? No, I don't need a second one. I'm an idiot. Only one is needed. But I need to glue this to the cardboard. And then let it dry a bit, and then we can just wrap it around. Yes, yes, yes. Do, 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 do. Okay. And now we play the holding game. Don't I have a clamp here? Is it wise to do this? I guess not. It's like those clamps have like too much strength, so once again you can't beat your own hands when doing stuff. You know exactly the right amount of pressure you need. Oh, like very nice to work with your hands. Don't need any fancy tools. You can rub things, you know, deploy some heat. And glue tends to dry better with heat. Your own body warmth, pressure, heat pressure. Oh, we have like a little wobbly thing that is like this piece up here. It can be deployed to a pole. So we need like a bar, then there is like some makeshift thing where it's mounted, and then it hangs up here like so. Okay. so we make a big poly. Need some nice material for this. Not the shabby one. Need the nice one. Oh. Every one of those is like angled because it's like from a picture frame, so okay, so is this a bigger pole? No, it's just a normal one. Lengthwise, I guess, like double. I guess 9 should be okay. Yeah, 9 is okay. There's like, yeah, I have now 6 of them, 6 utility poles in the making. And I guess this must be enough. It has to be enough, because I don't want to do a 7th one, to be honest. Maybe I will use only 5 in the final picture, but they are much more work than I thought, I'll be honest. And I guess I will also make the 2 smaller ones a bit more like simple, with like simpler attachments, like only like some bars up here with coils, because if everyone is like totally decked out and stacked out, it might look a bit too much, too overwhelming. So yeah, the next review I will work on will be the lane one, because I really want to get this figure to its proper owner. And yeah, I don't know, lane review will be a major review, like a normal episode, but then again it's just like a pop-up parade, and from what I've seen from the short glimpses I took, I don't know if there is much to talk about this figure, because it's like pretty plain one, pretty generic one. First I thought it might be a cool gag if I film the review on like hardware of its time, like the early 2000s, but this would be such a pain in the ass to do, because I already sold all my old camcorders like years ago. If I still had them, I would like try this to film it with my old camera. But then again, it would be just like a gag of some sort, because if I would do the whole review in this kind of like low quality 4080p resolution like we had on those older camcorders, you know, it would neglect the purpose of the review to get good b-roll of the figure itself. So yeah. So if I want to achieve this older video look, I might have to use some filters for certain parts of the review. But other than that, it will be just a normal review. See if it makes any difference in terms of viewership. Okay, and so now this hangs from here, and I now have to make some like a thing where it is mounted in. Should I use this already? Maybe, huh? Maybe this works. Once again, I can make a forced fold somewhere here. Then we mount it. Then we make another one here. And then I have to try to cut this the same way. With like this corner rounded. Okay. And now I have to tape a bit of small piece of cardboard into here so that it looks like it's hung in the air. Okay. Hopefully this does work. Don't know how I will do those outlets, to be honest. I guess it's just a round, small round tube, but straw. Doesn't matter. It's not a build stream. I can use a straw. Of course, the trusty straw. A straw man, if some would say. Okay, I really got to have this like on the bottom. This doesn't work quite well. Gotta move this down to the bottom. Okay. So now this might work. Yes. Okay, so use a straw. mean, I really like the mental gymnastics to see an object and just basically dissolve it into its parts and rebuild it from basic materials. Okay, so I can use a straw. Somewhere there is a straw. Let me search for one. I'm being right back. I will search for a straw. Oh, of course it lost the tracking. Oh god. Where am I? Where am I? Where am I? Here I am. Here I am. Don't you like a hurricane? Okay, so I found a straw. I found even a paper straw. You know, you can't drink from them, but you can use them for arts and crafts, so they are okay in that regard. I also found some plastic straws. 1 meter party plastic straws. Basically a forbidden thing. It's like the forbidden straw, the plastic straw. This is too... This looks funny. It doesn't have to look funny. Okay. So... Now adding those outlets, like small exhausts. The third one. Would have been much easier to cut this like from the get-go in the right length. Yeah, better, I guess. Okay, so now we have like those 3 outlets here. So them. I mean, here it is like a small like wiring situation around the whole structure. I don't know if I can like rebuild this. Should I try it? Like with very thin pieces of cardboard. I mean, I can try. I can try. This is the one I want to mount it. Okay, so let me try something. It has to be longer than that, so okay. But again, I might need a second one, and then just some lines that connect them. How does this work? So the idea is to glue this on the bottom part and just stick it into this space here. Oh no, this didn't hold at all. Once again, the cardboard is coming apart, so no fun at all. Everything is falling apart. Yeah, this doesn't hold at all. First layer, always a miss. Okay. Okay. We have like need this in the second layer then. Okay, why not? Keep your secrets then. Okay, and then why doesn't this hold, huh? Huh? There's always a bigger fish. Where's my second strap that I just cut? Interesting. Is it this one? No, can't be. That can't be. Or can it? I guess it can, but it's already falling apart, so... Nah. I can't really use this. Maybe I can use this. Huh. Should I wrap this around? Is this like something that would be true to nature? I don't know. This does not hold at all. Good grief. Luckily the hot glue is ready. I guess I just make this first. Maybe cut it in the back, so I don't have to go all the way. And then do this a second time. Oh, okay, I still need this one. Still need this part, but I have to use proper glue, not just wood glue, to get this into place. Can use this as well at some point. Just want to mount this on the power pole. Then I will probably call it a day. Yeah. Just get it like almost into the same shape. Let me just check if the bitrate. Okay, yeah, this is fine. This is fine. Because now finally I managed to get the bitrate under control, change the keyframe interval, and before I started streaming I even remembered to switch it back to 50 frames per second. Because you can't do this once you start recording or streaming. So, and I always saw it like at the bottom corner that it only like 30 FPS, so I was like, eh. Of course, since I changed it to like advanced settings, you have to set this by yourself. And of course, I can't do 60 frames per second because it's a European thing. It's an old PAL thing. Always always slower than NTSC, and we keep it this way, even if it doesn't make any sense now. Okay, and now I can just wrap this around like that. So yeah. Well, this might even work. Maybe I can cut it even smaller, like thinner. Let's see. To have it visually distinct. Very thin. Almost like unusable thin. Okay, so now, okay, yeah. Just not too bad, not too bad. And then there's a second strap. Put it over here. Okay, white surface goes here, wrap it around. Okay, so now we have like a little cage around it with the right paint job. It might look like a cage. So now we can just put this here once again, and I will use like hot glue because I'm not screwing around anymore. Now I have to endure that it like burns my finger, but I don't want to let it go. I burned my finger so many times when we still made the model train set back in my childhood days, and we used to glue all those cables under the table onto the plate, and we used like hot glue, and we just put on the hot glue, laid the cable in, and then made like this, and then just endured the heat. And now I can just remove the excess glue. At least I think I can do this. Where is my tweezer? There it is. Okay, so, and then there is this part here. Glue it onto here. So now we have like a small little, could be something from a power pole, could also be part from a spaceship. Very, very versatile in shape. Now those parts don't look like much, but if we apply it onto here, just notice that it's like the other way around. Like so. Almost at the corner of it. Yeah. Okay. And yeah, there we have it. Camera. So another technical thing installed. So those are the main two units on this pole. The other ones will just be like basic, like, you know, basic things with some coils. And then I have the large one done, and then there's two small ones, and yeah, I'm getting there. But it's midnight already. Oh, how did time went by so fast? Shame. Okay, let me just put it over here. Does it still stand? No, this one is like too lopsided to just stand on its own. No, not really, but I can just use this as a counterweight, so I can show you all those poles before we call it a day. Okay, so how do I do this? This one, yes. So there it is. Some of them at least. That one is almost obstructed. It's amazing how good they actually stand on their own. So wonderful contrast against this gray wall. But yeah, from left to right we have the already finished one in a silver like primer thing, and then the second one, and the fourth one is like the still waiting for the priming, and the one in the middle, the one with the gray attachments, or with the brown attachments I would say, is the one we've just worked on. Let me just zoom out a bit. Yeah, so okay, and there is the ramp behind it, and well, if I yeah, I can see where this is going, I guess, hopefully. Okay, so I guess that's all for today, and stick around for the raid. I will just see when, how, and who to raid. Let me check. Next stream, I don't know. Maybe Monday, maybe regular Monday if I have time. I will do one if I can muster up the strength. If not, maybe unscheduled streams. Yeah, I want to continue working on some models. So, which painting is going on? Is there someone who is like doing Shining Gundam body has some own stickers? Well, interesting. Okay, let me see. That sounds interesting. Rip Dragon building Sasabiu version MG. Let's rate the Rip Dragon, and yeah. See you again maybe next Monday, Plum Monday, or on Friday for full time. Thank you so much for dropping by into the workshop, and have a great weekend. Bye.